Hey there, guys. Sandra D here, just popping on real quick. I wanted to chat with you. I was inspired by a client of mine. I actually have a couple of clients that are women in male dominated industries. And so, something that I said kind of led us into this topic of conversation about imposter syndrome and what that actually is. Now, it's something like 70% of people at any given moment will think that they are not capable or that they are not in the right place with their work. In other words, they don't deserve to be there. That is basically imposter syndrome. So you think, oh, wait till they find out that I don't know what I'm doing. Now, one of the biggest relievers here is to realize that we all go through that. But in particular, imposter syndrome was named for women. They figured it was a woman's issue. Now, some studies have shown, and I kind of side on the fact that I think a lot of times it's not so much women only as that men don't traditionally talk about feeling vulnerable, especially in the workplace. So I think that women maybe confessed it more. So it was originally considered a female problem. Now it turns out there's even a couple of articles I found that say that men have even more of a tendency to be affected by imposter syndrome, probably affected by it because they don't talk about it. So if ever you have felt this way, realize that other people have too. In fact, Jodie Foster, oh, hey, hi, Bobby. Jodie Foster, and you guys all know who Jodie Foster is, right? She actually said, I always feel like something of an imposter. I don't know what I'm doing. And this was in an event where she was being heralded as the guest of honor for 2007 Women in Entertainment Power 100 event. And there, in front of everybody, she admitted to feeling like an imposter. So we're constantly learning, and just something to know, especially for women in a male-dominated industry, you may have a reason for feeling that way. And I'll explain as I move along here. If this ever happens to you, if you feel like I am in a position that maybe I don't deserve to be in, or they're going to find me out and they're going to kick me out, whatever it is, I want you to really focus on these couple of things. I have 4 things for you. Separate feeling from fact. Ladies, we've been told we feel too much sometimes by men. And in fact, in certain circumstances, we might. So separating feeling from fact. So just because maybe you tripped up on something or somebody told you something that makes you feel like you are less than or that you are too stupid to get things done, you have to separate that from the conversation, what really happened and how you're feeling about it. It's a little more complicated than just throwing it out there like I'm saying now, but it's very important that you separate the feeling from fact so that you can realize that you are actually smart enough. We all feel stupid at times. Even the smartest people in the world feel stupid when they are accosted with something that they can't solve. So we all feel that way. That's a human way to feel. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be there. Second, what is in your environment that may actually be triggering your sense of imposter syndrome? So ladies in a male-dominated workplace, this is what started this whole discussion, right? Was one of my clients in that situation. You are a minority in that situation. If you are a minority in your work environment, and there's a few different ways that you can be that. It could be age, it could be race, it could be religion. If you feel that you are a minority in your work environment, then that can actually be causing some of those feelings that you have because you feel like you're a bit of an outsider. So the best thing that you can do in that circumstance is, try to really build up your relationships there at work so you don't feel like as much of an outsider and work in team with other people as best you can. And 3, write a new script for yourself. So there's a phrase called stinkin' thinking, and I've talked about this before. Make sure that you can recognize those negative tendencies. So if something is going to be a trigger for you, like say, somebody comments or critiques or gives you feedback, understand that your thought process around that feedback is what's going to make a difference as to whether you feel that you are confident going into the next step of that project, or if you are going to be taking it to heart and having that imposter syndrome really sit on you and weigh you down. So write a new script for yourself. That is your internal dialogue. 4, play up the good stuff. So without getting lost in perfectionism, which is something that people with imposter syndrome can do. If you were brought up to appreciate perfection, then it is very possible that this can happen. So don't get lost in perfectionism, but do celebrate the things that you do well, that have gone well, and don't just celebrate it with yourself. Celebrate with other people. Celebrate with other people so that you can share what you are proud of accomplishing. Isolating yourself when you have imposter syndrome is one of the worst things that you can do that will keep you in that negative space. So you want to be able to share sometimes that you feel like you could be a fraud, just so that people know that that's something that you're dealing with. And then you can go and they'll be even more happy to celebrate your wins with you if you share that. So share your wins, share some of your trepidation, and what you love, and let people love what you do. In fact, do you know why people love working with you? Do you know what skills they appreciate, what strengths, what talents they really love about you?